We have seen sand frothing like the sea about our wheels, and in our wake clouds rolling yellow and opaque, thick smoking from the ground, wrapped in the dust from sun and sky, without a mark to guide them by.
The words Janet Coward reads were written by her father, who she has no memory of. She always knew he was a published war poet. What she didn't know was that her mother had kept letter after letter, revealing John Jarmain the man, as well as his original poems.
I just thought they were fantastic. I mean, it gave me an insight into my father, which I'd never really thought about him before, because you never having a father, you don't miss one. So he became a person. I knew my mother, so I take her aspect. It was a great joy to me that she'd had such an incredible marriage.
John Jarmain, who was killed in 1944 when Janet was very young, is a significant Second World War poet, and there aren't as many of them. So why is that? And why are the First World War poets arguably better known? Well, it may be that they'd already captured the essence of the battlefield so well that those who followed them had less to say. But while Jarmain may not have been able to add much to the mud of the trenches, he could tell the story of the sand of the desert.
There are flowers now, they say, at Alamein. Yes.
The terrain of North Africa was even more hostile for a lover of English landscape. But like all war poets, the country Jarmain fights for is never far away.
He was listening to a man digging a trench, shoveling sand, and he is already thinking back of that marvellous scarp of Cheddar in Somerset and the orchids that grow on top of that scarp.
Not far from here.
Not far at all.
Simon, this is the collection of letters that we've been given by John Jarmain.
Oh. Janet has now parted company with the majority of the correspondence. It sits here in the University of Exeter, the verses taking centre stage as the rest of the letter works its way around the margin.
Jarmain says, the desert will live in us when war is ended, but the fact remains, that he knows that these landscapes are going to remain with the survivors, they're going to be haunted by them, and in a sense they ended up loving even these desperate, hot places.
Students may discover more about the poetry of the Second World War thanks to the same letters which have helped her daughter discover more about the father she never knew.
I just think they're so wonderful, and I just wish everybody could read them, really, because it's just a wonderful love story.
Simon Clemison, BBC News, Exeter.